Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about one of the most crucial and important divisional chart in Vedic astrology. Well, this divisional chart is nothing but the reflection of your past life on this present life. So let's not waste time. Let's begin with our video. So this video is the 60th video on my channel, and coincidentally it's a video on D-60 chart. It's a divisional chart. It is known as Shastiamsha chart, and well, this divisional chart is one of the most important and crucial aspect in Vedic astrology. If you really want refined predictions, accurate predictions, you need to look into this chart. Your horoscope analysis is incomplete until and unless you haven't looked into this particular divisional chart. And it's just not me who is saying that. Well, Prashara gave a great importance to the D60 chart. He considered that Shastiamsha chart is most important chart, and after that is the Rashi chart, and on number 3 it's the Navamsha chart. So whenever you want to make better predictions, you want to go for an in-depth analysis of a horoscope, you have to look into all these 3 charts. You have to link these 3 charts, that is your D60, D9 and D1, to get better predictions. So what is D60? Well, it is the 1/60th division of a particular Rashi or a sign. And therefore, this chart gives you the in-depth analysis of your life, and not just this life, your past life. This chart represents the exact past life karma. It represents what all things you have done in past and how those things are affecting you in this life. The reason why you're going through a certain difficulty, or maybe, it just helps you to understand your boons as well as your curse from the past life. Now, D60 gives a microscopic view of your life. Well, there is this one device which is very close to me. Whether it was my high school, my medical school, or my higher studies, a device named as microscope is very close to me, and I think a microscope provides the solution to every trouble. You look at the patient, you just check out the signs and symptoms, and if everything fails, you have to go for a diagnosis. So what happens? You take a culture, you take a tissue, you put it under the microscope, and you will really, everything will be out. You will understand the root problem, the root cause of everything. Just like that, D60 is the microscopic view of your life. So it is one of the most important chart, and this chart will actually reveal how your life will go on in future. And the yogas which are formed in this chart are also very important. So there are 3 parts to this video. Number 1, how to analyze your D60 chart. What all things you have to see in this divisional chart, and how you can make predictions out of it. Number 2, how to reconstruct the D60 chart if your birth time is not accurate. Well, the D60 changes in 2 minutes. The first house, the ascendant of D60, changes within 2 minutes, so we need accurate time. And if you don't have accurate time, how to reconstruct this particular divisional chart. And number 3, the past life, how you can analyze your past life by using Shastiamsha. Well, this video is going to be very interesting, so let's begin.
Just like the D1 chart, that is your Rashi chart, the D60, which is the Shastiamsha chart, is required to see all the aspects of your life, that too with the microscopic view. Every aspect, whether it's your social life, your personal life, your luck, bad luck, career, obstacles, income, marriage, children, your family, everything you can see from this Shashtiamsha division, and it will give you a very clear and a very better idea of this life. The very first thing you need to analyze is the first house of the Shastiamsha chart. The first house of each and every divisional chart is very important. The strength of the first house plays a very decisive role in the analysis of the Shastiamsha. If the first house is free from any kind of malefic influences, it indicates auspiciousness in life. Therefore, the strength of this chart, the strength of the first house of this divisional chart increases the rate of success and prosperity in life. Even if you have any kind of malefic yogas in your horoscope or any malefic planetary placement, if your first house is strong, believe me, 80% of your problems are solved. So we need to see who is the ruler of the first house, that is the lord of the first house. Is it a malefic planet or a benefic planet? Planets like Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Moon and Sun, these are the benefics. So most of you will be saying that Sun is not a benefic planet. Well, Sun is mildly malefic planet, but it's okay. We can consider it as a benefic planet, not a big thing. Then the malefic planets, planets like Saturn or Mars rules your first house. Of course, there will be struggle and problems in life. If suppose planet Saturn rules the first house of a Shastiamsha, it will, it represents that your growth in life will be slow and gradual, but it does not deny success in life. Suppose planet Mars rules the first house of Shastiamsha, it indicates that you will be requiring a lot of courage in this life to accomplish your tasks, and repetition of efforts. You have to repeat things again and again to reach a destination. After that, you have to see the placement of the first lord. Suppose the first lord is placed in the 9th house. Well, this indicates a native who is very spiritual, blessed and lucky in this life. Now suppose first lord is in the 3rd house. Well, this placement makes a native very courageous, someone who will get success by his or her own efforts and hard work. Now first lord goes into the 12th house. Well, this can weaken the first house because the 12th house is the house of loss. It indicates permanent settlement in foreign lands, or maybe the source of income would be from a foreign multinational company, or maybe from the source of income would be from across the 7 seas. Then comes the role of the dharma houses. The 5th and the 9th house are known as the dharma houses, and just like the 4th house, 5th house also represents happiness and emotions. It signifies our intelligence, feelings, faith, spirituality, and most importantly the purva punya, which means your past life deeds. So afflicted 5th house indicates problems, curses or bad karma you are carrying from your past life, and how this karma is going to affect you in this life. If the 5th house is associated with a benefic planet or a benefic house, this adds on the strength to your Shastiamsha chart. It signifies that you have done really good and noble deeds in your past life. 9th house is also a very auspicious house. It is the house of religion, spirituality, faith, luck, destiny, communication with higher power. It represents your morality and the virtue. The 5th house and the 9th house also represents our bhakti, our devotion, and how we communicate with the God. A strong 5th and 9th house increases happiness and prosperity in this life. I have discovered that most people who are struggling a lot in this life have their 9th house damaged in the Shastiamsha chart. So how to see the strength of the Dharma houses? Very simple. Just like the first house, look at the Lord of the 5th house and the 9th house. Are these planets malefic or benefic? What all planets are placed in the 5th house and the 9th house? Look at the house placement and the sign placement of the 5th Lord and the 9th Lord, and all these things will help you in analyzing this chart. Then you need to see the malefic houses, the Trika houses, the 6th, the 8th and the 12th house. And again, you have to see who is the Lord of these houses. Well, the Lord of the 8th house is highly malefic planet in this chart, and you need to look for the association of the 6th, 8th and 12th house with the other houses. The placement of the 6th, 8th and the 12th Lord can give you a clue about your difficulties and misfortunes in this life. Suppose your 8th house Lord is placed in the 9th house. Well, this indicates troubles and misunderstanding with your father, because 9th house represents father in astrology. If 8th Lord is in 8th house, well, this is a good placement. It indicates happiness and a lot of strength in this life. So we have to go for a detailed analysis to come up to a better prediction. And after analyzing all these houses, you have to look for the planetary yogas formed in this horoscope, because really these yogas will be very important for you in this life. You have to look for the planetary yogas formed in this horoscope, whether it's a Raj Yoga or a Dhana Yoga or maybe Papkartari Yoga. So there's so many yogas. You have to look for the yogas in this Shashtiamsha chart, and also you have to see, you can analyze your Mahadasha through this chart. You have to see which planet is malefic and benefic in this particular divisional chart, and this can really help you to understand the effects of a certain Mahadasha. Let's discuss with an example how you can read a D-60 chart. Well, this D-60 chart belongs to a woman who got divorced recently. She came to me like almost a year ago, and she came for her consultation regarding marriage. Now she was depressed due to her failed marriage. So let's see what went wrong over here. Her partner cheated on her, and this guy was very aggressive and very argumentative. You know, the combination of Mars with Mercury is quite good for materialistic success in life, but not good for relationships. You can see over here that Mercury is exalted, but let me tell you, the association of this planet with planet Mars is really a troublemaker. And the Mars rules the 2nd house in this chart. Look at the 2nd house, and over there Jupiter and Moon is sitting with planet Saturn, which is in Aries, and it is debilitated. So this thing also is a reason which failed the marriage. You can look over here that Jupiter is also there, but Jupiter was unable to save that relationship, because 2nd house is the house of marriage too, and over here Jupiter couldn't save this relationship. Now after that, look at the 6th house. 6th house is the house of divorce, the house of litigation. So the 6th Lord is planet Sun sitting with Rahu. Again, it indicates that her partner cheated on her. And also her father is suffering from a prolonged illness. Again, sun represents the father, and over here the sun is the sixth lord in conjunction with planet Rahu. And the fifth house, look at the fifth house over here. Fifth house is also a house of intelligence, house of happiness, house of faith, and the fifth lord is placed in the second house along with Jupiter and Saturn, again in Aries. And this woman has suffered a lot in life. She was depressed and her mind was always clouded with negative thoughts. And even in her D9 chart, the moon is debilitated, and even in the D1 chart, moon is placed with planet Saturn. So yes, all these things you have to relate all these charts, and then you can come up to a conclusion.
So finally you are aware how to analyze your D60. Now it's time to reconstruct. Well, it's very easy to reconstruct your D60 chart. If you think that your birth time is not accurate, don't worry. We have a way to reconstruct your D60. So let's begin. And after that, after reconstructing the chart, you can read and analyze this chart the same way I told you earlier in this video. So let's begin.
Okay guys, I have reconstructed the Shastiamsha chart over here. The chart number 3 over here is the reconstructed one, and all you need to do is to consult and see your Lagna chart, that is your Rashi chart, and as well as the original D60 chart. So over here in the Lagna, you can see that it's a Pisces ascendant. Look at the Rashi chart. The ruling sign is Pisces. So even in this chart, we will take the ascendant as Pisces, and then we will look towards the original D60, and we will just copy the planetary placements. Suppose like in you can see that Sun and Ketu is in Leo. So in the reconstruction work, we have placed Sun and Ketu in the Leo only, and in this way we will reconstruct the Shashtiamsha, and then you can analyze this chart in the same way as I have mentioned earlier in the video.
You know that there is a beauty to Shashtiamsha chart, and that beauty is that you can understand your past life deeds. And why do we want to know about the past life deeds? Because if you know what you have done wrong in your past life, you have the opportunity to correct it in this life. So it's a very useful chart. So let's understand how you can understand your past life. Let's begin.
Okay, so let's understand how you can reveal your past life karma by using the D60 divisional chart, and how this past life karma is active in the present life. Well, the house placement and the dignity of the planets, whether it's a malefic one or a benefic planet, these two things holds the secret to your past life karma. You can relate these planetary placements to your present life situations, and this can give you a very better analysis. And I will be comparing my analysis results with a past life reading done by the Nadi astrology method. Well, this technique is mostly used in the southern parts of India, where the ancient sages have written the past and the future on palm leaves. The very first complaint of this native is the breaks in education. Whether it's illness or maybe lack of concentration, this person always encountered trouble related to studies, and also trouble related to the teachers, the gurus. Okay, so who is the guru? Well, you have to look out for Mr. Juno. Well, Mr. Juno is placed in the 11th house. Okay, so Jupiter is in 11th house in the company of planet Saturn, or I would say that the unhappy Saturn in Aries. She has gone through a lot of criticism and humiliation by teachers, and Jupiter is the Karaka of gurus, teacher, and you can see planet Ketu is placed in the sign of Jupiter, so you can really understand the karma related to teachers. And again, Jupiter is placed with the debilitated Saturn, so of course it indicates bad karma related to teachers. And even the Nadi reading mentions that this native was cursed by a teacher in the past life. The association of planet Mercury with the 5th house as well as with the 1st house indicates that this person was very spiritual in the past life. But Jupiter is also a planet which represents spirituality, and its association with planet Saturn represents that there was some kind of lack of faith in the past life, and therefore the lesson in this life is to have a strong faith on God. Look at the placement of planet Rahu in the sign of Gemini in the 1st house. It signifies the materialistic desires of this person, and these desires are from the past life. Even the Nadi reading mentions that this native was quite egoistic due to the materialistic possessions. And lastly, I would like to add that irrespective of the Saturn's house placement, a debilitated Saturn also represents that this native might have misbehaved with the servants, with the people who belong to a poor class. And the presence of the 3rd Lord in the 3rd house. The planet Sun is the Lord of the 3rd house, and it is placed in the 3rd house, indicates that this person will be a self-made person in this life. Everything will come to this person by own efforts. And the effects of the malefic Saturn will surely reduce in this life, because planet Mars is exalted in the sign of Saturn, that is the sign of Capricorn. So this is how you will analyze your past life karma, and also how this karma is affecting you in this life.
So guys, this was my analysis on Shastiamsha chart. I hope this video will be quite useful for you, and let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Till then, goodbye, take care, and if you're new over here, do subscribe. So goodbye.